Welcome, a warm welcome, and happy World Kindness Day from all of us here on this amazing celebratory call with myself, ChriSOULa, the Golden Muse, and a number of light workers, visionaries, authors, healers, and people that actually believe that kindness is the thread that connects us all. So today is a special call because of the day, 13th of November, that we celebrate everywhere the wonderful act of kindness and compassion. But equally, we're celebrating life. We're celebrating to be here on this planet Earth, celebrating love, intention, flow, and ease. On this call, we're going to be sharing from our hearts, heart to heart, our ways of how we can create a space, a culture of kindness in our families, in our schools, in our wider communities. And I will be taking through, depending on the time, I don't want to promise, but depending on the time, I will be taking through a meditation in color. And what I was called to share with you tonight is meditation using one of the elementals in the system I work with the gold and metal, which is the alchemist, the creative spirit that belongs to you, to every single one of you, and also something that we have got. And we work with and we share creativity and inspiring other people, especially inspiring the younger generation to be equally creative and to believe in their own voice, to believe in their own essence and their own gifts. And I know that I have already had conversations with some of you, and I believe we are all coming on the same, we are on the same sort of belief, vision, mission, that children are our leaders. And children are, in a way, overwhelmed over this 21st century technology and lots of things happening, and there's a lot of over-reliance on lots of things, and drugs, and not be able to sleep well, issues with nutrition, nourishment, and not being able to speak up and stand up. This week is also anti-bullying week in the UK. I don't know where you're coming from, what's happening in your country. So anti-bullying is something that also we celebrate during this week in November. So I love to keep my calls and our experience here on Golden Muse TV lighthearted, but equally I like to dig deep, because it's not all that we can see on the surface. We really need to go a little bit deeper, and sometimes we need to bring the warrior energy out. If you see what I mean? Yes? Are you with me on this? Yes? Fabulous. So we need to bring the warrior energy out, and sometimes we need to be a little bit of a rebel, a little bit of a teacher, a little bit of a visionary, seer, oracle, all of these wonderful archetypes that are part of who we are. Yes? So, but we need all of this also to pass on this knowledge, this wisdom to our children. And not only that, not for them to rely on us, but also for them to understand that they have got this wisdom innately. They were born, they came into this world with wonderful wisdom. And the way I'm coming from, they were born with all the amazing colors, all the rainbow colors. So they are part of who we are, they're part of our essence. And these colors, what I'm teaching them, and I'm teaching other, or maybe even reminding you, these colors are batteries. They are your batteries. So if you think of them, if you bring them into that kind of, feeling how colors in your system, corresponding to your chakras, or if you don't know anything about chakras, don't worry, but still, all these rainbow colors somehow exist in our system. and then they correspond to different organs in our wonderful bodies. So the kids, the children, start learning all of these things from a young age, and they appreciate all of this. And why I'm actually going back into color, because color is a wonderful tool to tap into your emotions. Color is a wonderful language that can actually help you express how you feel, what's happening inside you. Sometimes we don't always have the words to express how we feel, right? Okay. It doesn't matter what age group you may be. You may be a young one, or maybe an adult with degrees and all of that. It doesn't matter your knowledge or academic background or your profession. Sometimes words cannot describe how we feel. And sometimes emotions are bottled up inside us. And we just do not allow them to come out and express how we feel. And these emotions, if we don't know how to release them, how to recognize them, first of all, and release them, then of course they are bottling up inside, and they can cause a bit of chaos. Yes. Have you ever experienced that? Give me a thumbs up if you have experienced that. Yes. So the emotions they are amazing. They are beautiful. I am a super emotional being, and I am not. And in the past, I used to say, I am oversensitive. I take things in, and now I'll say, yes, I'm good. I'm sensitive, and I admit that. I'm sure you be here being a healer, being somebody who is a giver and loves offering and loves creating and participating, contributing to the world. I am sure you're also very sensitive, because you're feeling things very deeply inside. And I am sure we are on the same wavelength on this, right? Yes. So why I'm saying all of this, I'm giving you a little bit of background of who I am and what I am really passionate about. And color and the language of color, and you can see behind me these wonderful little bottles here, is part of my giving to the world. It's part of what I am offering. And color is also, as I said, helps with how we're feeling, how we are releasing, how we are healing inside as well. But it makes us feel one of the greatest treasures of all. It makes us connect with loving ourselves, which sometimes it's a huge journey, it's an amazing journey. And learning to love ourselves is one of the hardest things I found. That's my personal opinion. You may agree with me, or you may feel that you conquered that and you are okay with that. That's absolutely fine. But there are lots of waves, and navigating through these waves of self-care and self-love is not always as easy as people make it seem, or say, yeah, go ahead, love yourself. Well, it's just one word to say that. Just love yourself is just one word. There are lots of layers underneath. I don't think we're going to be able to tap and go through, explore all of these areas on this call. But the reason why I'm saying self-love and self-care is because to be able to be kind and compassionate towards other people, we need to start from this very basic, very basic foundation. In order to be able to be compassionate towards others, whether it's our family members, siblings, or neighbors, or colleagues, or people in the classroom environment, classmates, teachers, whoever it may be, politicians even, you need to start from loving yourself and be compassionate towards yourself. If you're not compassionate towards yourself, there is no way to be compassionate. Maybe you can be compassionate, but somehow there will be a lot of resistance in you. Somehow there will be some sort of struggle within you. So let's start from that then. So how we can learn to be more compassionate with ourselves. But by saying that, I will always go back to what I started off with. How we can show up and be role models for our children. It doesn't matter whether you're a parent or not. You could be an auntie, you can be an uncle, you can be a godmother or a godfather, or it could be anyone out there. Doesn't matter if you are you got your own children or not. Still, you are a role model. As an adult, that's your responsibility, being a role model for the younger ones. So how can we show them, for the kids, to be compassionate and kind? And that's what this call is about. That's where we are. Yes, it's about celebrating. Yes, celebrating life, celebrating us being here, and connecting with one another, receiving from our own juiciness and light, and being part of that exquisite connection. But equally is what can we do here? What can we pledge, or what can we offer to create? Maybe even better, to co-create a kinder world. And this is our legacy. This is what we're going to leave behind. This is what we are offering to the younger generation, and for the future years ahead for us as well, because we still got time to experience and enjoy life on this planet Earth. So I have said that, you know, this month is, if you have followed a little bit about on Facebook, it is a special vibrational month. November is the 11 master year, master number, and it's all about taking initiatives and following your truth and being a leader. You know, stepping up basically. So thank you for following that, and actually, you know, receiving that calling and stepping up and be here. So thank you so much. Thank you. I know that you could have been anywhere else, you know, having a cup of tea or coffee or whatever you like, and relaxing somewhere else, but you chose to be here. So I am really grateful for that. Thank you. So also, you may have seen that I use a lot of the word holistic with a W. And those of you who haven't met me before, or you have met me but only for a short period of time, there are lots of things that have happened over the last few months. When you're on your path, things are evolving rapidly. I'm sure you have experienced that. If you have, you know what I'm talking about. So when you're on your path, things are evolving, things are moving, things are coming from different directions, and it's hard even to say, where am I now? Concentrate, ChriSOULa. What do you want to do? What's the next step forward? So part of my path is how we can bring more of this amazing coming back to our wholeness. And when I say wholeness, how we can be whole, you know, how we can be in alignment with our essence, with our spirit, but also connecting with our heads and our hearts. And Bruce will tell us probably a little bit more later, if you feel inclined, Bruce, to share a little bit, and how we can, you know, feel the connection between our heads and our hearts, and coming from, you know, from that space, and knowing when do we actually, our decisions are heart-led or mind, ego-led. That's another big thing. That's another big thing. That's another thing that also I would love us to say, to commit to showing, to teaching the younger generation, our children, how they can connect, how can they drop in more their own intuition and intuitive skills, because they've got them naturally. Oh, we all do, by the way. We all do. It's not a prerogative for a few, by the way. That's for real. So before I open up to, you know, to the conversation here, our musings, to some of the participants here who would like to share on tonight's call, I would also like to say, you know, that one of the laws that you may have heard, or you may have worked with, or you still bring into your practice, is I believe is a mystical law, is a spiritual law, is the one that says, what is in one, it is in the whole. Yeah, have you heard of this one before? You must have. So what is in one is in the whole. So what I do to the one, I do to everyone. Does it resonate that with you? I wonder. So it must be, because basically it goes back to what I was saying before, that about self-responsibility, about self-care, about owning what's happening to us, to you as a human being, but also as a spiritual being, and how we are checking constantly how you're feeling, what's going on, what is it that I want, asking these questions, and then always asking and feeling guided and connecting. So, because whatever your actions, whatever your decisions, whatever your thoughts are, these have got a huge impact on everybody else, irrespective whether they are just a few meters down the road, or they are just thousands and thousands of miles away from where you are. Your thoughts, good words, good deeds. I love that. Have you seen the film? That was the one dedicated to Queen, the British rock group, Freddie Mercury. Well, that's something that they use there. Good words, good thoughts, good deeds. So I am bringing all of that up because there will be something that speaks to you, and then you could actually come up and share something from your heart, or something else will evolve. I love being in the flow. I have been part of this world of hosting calls like that here, or part of being broadcaster for a few years now. And actually this November has been my 9th year in broadcasting. I don't know how it happened. It just happened. My career has always been in teaching, by the way. I've been a teacher all my life, and I will never stop being a teacher. That's for sure. That's for sure. This is my vocation, but this is where my passion, my dedication is. So, but then when one door closes, they say, another door opens. So there you go. I still carry on sharing my knowledge and sharing my love and inspiring others in whatever way it comes to me naturally. And broadcasting is another part of who I am, another heart of mine. But equally, last year, I decided that, okay, after all these wonderful interviews I had with people I've connected with, which all about holistic, with a W, holistic well-being, holistic health and healing. I said, what am I going to do with all of these amazing people? So this is where, I probably also see that this week on the 11th of November, like last year, 11th of November, we celebrated the actual release of my first collaborative book, the Book of Soulful Musings, Living Life with Love, Intention, Flow and Ease. And some of these co-authors, they are actually here on the panel, here with us tonight. Sue Ritzy and Susan Brooks and Gita, they're part of the book, and Sue Williams. Yes, Sue Williams is a poet and writer. Yes, and within the book there are five key areas where we see the holistic and how we can bring the wholeness back. And we've got anything to do with body and physical well-being, conscious living, the mind, mental well-being, and mindfulness, and the heart, and joyous living, and particularly there's a chapter within a section that is dedicated to children, and Gita's contribution is there, and also the spirit, and living connection with our spirits. And again, still there are people out there that don't know what spirit is, and still a bit of a question mark around that. So I hope that through all the work we've done with the book, and there will be still people that will be waking up and receiving the call and say yes to their own spirits. And the last section is about community, and this is very big for me. It's something I love working with. I love collaboration. I love co-creation, and I believe that togetherness is the way forward. So there you are. So. Right, so I'm going now to open it up to you, that you are part of this call. If you feel like sharing, please put your hand up, and I'll come to you. And I'm not saying a question, a particular question, whatever bubbles inside and needs to come out, please do. That's a wonderful space here to share. Hey, Bruce.
Lots of loving, peaceful people on the Zoom call. It's very nice that you're creating this time for all of us that are here live on the Zoom, let alone who will be watching later and watching now for that matter. I don't have a particular profound thought so much as I think the spirit of the need for us to connect more as people at this time in the world's history with so many extreme challenges, what seem to be so extreme, and where there seems to be such a lack of connection and divisiveness and separation and antagonism, that I think to have at least a day dedicated to kindness, if not many, if not months, a whole month dedicated to kindness sounds like a really good idea to me, actually. But I think just in simple gestures throughout our day, we can at least begin there, at least in how we greet the people who live next to us or down the street or down the hall, and to greet the people that we interact with casually as we go about our day, to just put out a feeling of more care and more kindness and more gentleness. I think it does us so much good inside in ways that are measurable, as well as ways that we can feel. It feels good to do that. It feels good to have a gesture to another person that is kind and caring. And it's great for the other person, especially if it's not expected, and can just completely brighten someone's day. So I think you've got a collection of very kind and sweet people here. I know about a little more than half of them because we all met in Cannes not that long ago, in Andrea Pennington's events, and it's lovely to see those of you who are very familiar faces to me. And I'll zip for now and let someone else join in the love fest.
Brilliant. Thank you, Bruce. Thank you. Thank you for breaking the silence. Oh, bless you. So, yeah, well, maybe if I ask you a question, maybe that will prompt you a little bit. Okay, so when it comes to kindness, what is it that you do as part of your everyday routine, rituals, self-care routines? What is it that you do that you would like to say, well, by the way, that has worked for me, and that makes me feel like, yeah, I can have that connection with myself, but also feel kinder towards myself because I say I'm putting myself first, not in any egotistical way, but also being kind to others. It gives you the sense of giving, and then I also like to ask you the question, so when it comes to giving, how much can we give to the point of not allowing to receive? So we are very good at giving. I know that. You're wonderful. But just check with yourself for a second. How much do you allow to receive without feeling sort of feeling obliged or feeling vulnerable or feeling weak or feeling all of this? Do you allow to receive? If you do, fantastic. But has it always been open to you? Have you always felt it's okay for me to receive? Or has it been a bit of a journey for you? I would like to hear from you. Who's going to go next? Debbie, wonderful. And Alex, and yes.
Yeah. I just think it's a really interesting point you raise about that concept of giving and receiving, and something that I heard only a few days ago really resonated with me about, if we think of our breathing, we have to breathe in and we have to breathe out.
Mm-hmm.
And they're quite rhythmical. And if we were to get that balance incorrect, life would be such a struggle.
Mm.
And I think when you sort of come back to that concept of breathing in and breathing out, and if we can even just notice something as simple as that, as to how, you know, that it is a rhythm of breathing in and out, that we do need to, as much as we give out, we need to allow, you know, that to come to us as well. Because if we are just constantly giving out and out and out, then we, you know, it is almost like we'll almost run out of our own breath, because we'll burn out.
Mm.
And we won't hold any value of ourselves. And I just thought, oh, I actually just really love that whole concept of it is as simple as breathing.
Mm. It is. It is.
Yeah, and I think, yeah.
Carry on. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No. So, yeah, I think it is, although I think as natural givers, that's just sort of common sense to us, then there is also, for me, I guess it comes back to the rituals thing, is something that I've definitely developed over the last year, is to journal with what I call the different parts of me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll journal with my soul, I'll journal with my little self, my child self, and then I'll journal with my adult self. So I see that as my soul is like my GPS system. So I might be asking for guidance, but also sometimes it's about asking my soul, what do you need? What do you need right now? Because again, if I'm only asking, can you help me please? Can you guide me please? I'm just asking and asking, I'm just taking, and I'm not giving to my soul. So, you know, so sometimes it is just about asking, you know, what do you need today? You know, what would nurture you today? And then asking for that guidance, or even a reciprocation with that part of myself, and connecting with my child self to see, you know, what's going on for her. Is there any fears about what's going on, or any little memories that I need to be aware of? And then tuning in with my adult self then to be the action taker on all that I've discovered, so that, okay, you've got the driving, you've got the, you know, the steering wheel now. So what action are you going to take? Because I think, again, there's that, the guidance, and there's that whole balance between, you know, taking all that information in and then doing something with all that.
Yes.
And I think the closer you are to observing yourself and having that self-awareness, it's much easier to see that in somebody else, because you recognize it and you can see where somebody else is, because you're so in tune with yourself. Mm-hmm. So to then see that in somebody else just becomes that much easier.
Yeah, well, there are a couple of things that I am totally relating, is the connection with your inner child. And that inner child can be wounded or still needing very much love and attention. And keeping an eye and checking and see how your inner child is. And don't forget that kindness is also its playfulness, right? You know,
absolutely, yeah.
Cheekiness and playfulness and spontaneity and being in the moment. And we adults, we all need it. And children remind us of that. Yes. So how to get more in the moment. And yes, absolutely. So I would like to introduce you, since we're talking about children and talking about playfulness, I'd like to introduce you to my little helpers. You may have heard of me saying something, or you may have already met them, lucky you. So they are my wonderful helpers. They came into my life, probably they're like with me over the last 3 months or so. And they have been on trips with me and show festivals and showing up in a few areas, but not fully yet, but we have actually stepped out there. So they are very willing to say hello. And I'm going to bring you some of my helpers here. So there they are. Oops. There's a Poppy and there's Violet. So, and then at the back, can you see the others? Can you see the other bears, the little bears? Yes. Well, these are all made in rainbow colors, and these are my helpers that I'm taking them into schools and teaching kids how to connect with color, and how each color and each bear speaks to them and brings them into connection with their self-awareness and self-acceptance and self-worth and self-esteem and self-expression and all of these wonderful things that that we all need. This is part of our journey, right? But instead of me, the adult, doing all the talking and teaching, we've got those little ones that they are doing the talking, and they are becoming their friends. And this way, kids actually feel more at ease to express what's going on inside them. And by choosing the color bear, and whatever attributes that go with it, and all bears, all colors are equal, by the way. And they can actually choose the color that represents them, how they feel, and in this way, myself and their teachers or their parents, they can actually have an idea of what's going on inside them. And so this is part of my team now. They are my rainbow warriors, and we are going out there. But they are actually a great team. But they are, believe me, they've got somebody else in the team. Can you see here? Somebody else wants to say hello. Oh, sorry, Bernie, you're down there. Let me just pull you up here, show you. And there is Bernie. She's quite big. And she's got a jumper with all the rainbow colors in her, or in him, depending. So Bernie then goes into schools and then shows kids that they've got their own colors in them, and says a story about the rainbow and other things that underpinning what rainbow stands for. The hope and positivity and kindness and compassion and co-creating and loving one another and loving yourself. So yes, and the rainbow is my new 7-step methodology program. So and the rainbow is an acronym. So each letter represents part of the steps, and that's a process. So it's not like you have to go through only once. It's an ongoing process. So I'd just like to share with you a little bit about what my new world is about, and is under the holistic color therapy. And I'm bringing this. These are my rainbow warriors are going to junior schools and primary schools and even middle schools, and up to the age of 12, 13 years old, from 6 to 13. Even my goddaughter, she's 13. When she saw me, she says, "Oh, I love them all." So I'm saying it's not just for the very little ones, but also had great response from us, the adults. So they love them too. We love them too. So this is part of my new world, my new mission and vision, to bring holistic out there in schools and families, and working with a facilitator team. I'm training facilitators to use the methodology. And so whether you're a parent or you are an educator, or you're a teaching assistant or a teacher, this can be used as part of your everyday classroom activities and even in family environment. So because these are actually creating that union, that bonding between us, between adults and children, and then what you're saying before, Bruce, brings us together. So breaks down the separation that this is only for the kids, and so we are all coming together on this, and there are wonderful stories that go with it as well. So yes, it is all part of using color, light, sound, natural aromas, because the system I work with, the color mirror system, it's got splitters in it, and I use aromatherapy together with color. And lots of mindfulness techniques, meditation, and heart intelligence. This is part of my whole package here. so I put it together in a wonderful new system that I could take it out there and make a difference and change the way we educate kids and maybe even working in a complementary way, supporting of whatever has already existed in schools and within families. So this is when I say, I'm going to announce something new. This is part of my new path, my new evolutionary path, and under the umbrella of holistic, I'm also going to create a new podcast series, a new podcast platform, which is dedicated to holistic woman. Okay, it's okay. It's also for men. Holistic woman, but also men, and the masculine energy will be honored. It will be embraced. So the holistic woman, again, it is part of what we need. Again, what you were saying before, Debbie, and giving some tips how we can use journaling, for example, or how we can do for self-care tips, or bringing in more connecting with our wise, wild warrior woman, or the masculine energy, the masculine that supports the feminine energy and works together. So I am not going to give you too much information here on this call, but what I'm actually promising I'm going to do, I'm going to send out a survey questionnaire where you could actually connect with different options, choices that you may like to be involved with, and that is the Holistic Woman podcast, or receiving more information about the holistic training, or even be part of my new book project. This is something that I've done my first anthology last year, and in collaboration with amazing people from different countries in the world. But now it's time to create another book, and this time is going to work with children co-authoring in my book. I have already shared that with a few of you. Children will be co-authoring the book, but also there will be a lot to do with color and the rainbows. This again, 2/3 of the book will be dedicated to children's contributions, but a good third of the book will be dedicated to how you can use color and what color means and different types of color, and introducing the rainbow warriors. So it's going to be something really good. I can feel it, and it's about giving something, creating a platform to children and younger people to express their gifts, to share their voice, to speak up, not to wait until they are in their 40s or 50s to be part of an amazing book. Why not start at a younger age? They can still do it at a younger age. Why not? If they have got that, if they love writing and they love express themselves through poems. And I guess, I don't know, Sue Williams, that she's on the call. You may have felt the connection with poetry at a much younger age, or you may have felt the longing to express yourself through poetry. But poetry is one vehicle, one way of expressing yourself. But it could be through narratives, or it could be through drawing. It could be so. I'm gonna leave it open to whatever feels the connection with whatever the child or your child feels connected with to come up with. And of course, kindness and compassion and what rainbow represents, they will be part of their contribution. Yes. And some of the younger kids, they are really passionate. I tell you what, they're really passionate. They really want to contribute to making a change in the world. So let's create that possibility for them. What do you think? Sounds good? Yes? So let's create that possibility, and so yeah, I will include that in my questionnaire, my survey. So if you would like to know more about any of these projects that are connected with kindness and creating that culture of kindness, so let's see whether we can talk or have a Zoom call or an email or whatever, so we can move forward, because all being well, I would like the book to be published next year. So if you have your own child, or if you know a child that you think they would be happy, they would jump on the opportunity, well, yeah, let's get in touch and let's create that for them. Yeah. So let me see, what time is it? Okay, now I would like to share a little bit of my meditation with you, so we can complete the call here tonight. Is there anything else that you would like? If you like to put, as we call it in the heart circle environment, would you like to put your voice in the circle? Even if you just say hi, it could be hi in your own language, or it could be something more. It would be nice for you to just say, just to contribute, even by just putting your voice in the circle. I know, Sue Brooks, I know that you may not, but it's okay. Your smile says it all. Thank you.
As loud as I get.
Bless
you.
Hello, everybody. Well, thank you. Who else? Peter.
Yeah, I've been thinking about a story all through this call, because I was teaching heart meditation at a junior school in Nottingham recently, and I got to meet both you and Paul at that occasion. And we were sitting, there were third graders, and there were 90 of them, and I taught them in 3 groups how to fill their hearts with love and spread their light into their bodies and share it with their community. And when they came out of the meditation, their eyes were shining bright. And I asked them about shining eyes. And I asked them if there were people in there, or not actually people, but I said, who do you know who has shining eyes? Do your parents have shining eyes, brothers and sisters? And in each 3 classes, individual, like separate from each other, the first 3 answers that came from these little kids were smiling eyes of their dogs.
Oh, amazing.
And at first I thought it was really cute that they love their dogs, and I love dogs, so I know how they greet you, right? But when you think about it, so when I asked them to explain about it, they said, when I come home from school, my dog is waiting for me with smiling eyes, jumping up, so happy to see me. It's been missing me all day. And he follows me around wherever I go. And it made me think about my way of parenting and my way of greeting my children when they come home from school. And I'm lucky to even be home when they come home from school, right? So maybe an act of kindness could be to greet each other with smiling eyes and just say hello in a different way. And when we meet each other and people on the street. So a few years back in Denmark, we had a campaign on the radio, and they said, did you say hello to your mailman today? And now it's like, did you say hello to your child today? Did you smile at your child today? So we are so busy, caught up in each our own world. So an act of kindness could be to connect to our hearts when we, with the phones and everything.
This. Just be conscious how often you use this.
When you sit on the train, we don't even look at each other anymore. We just stare into the phone. So I was just thinking about it throughout the call, because I think we've sort of forgotten about kindness. So it's important that
smiling eyes, bright eyes. Fabulous. Thank you, Gita. Thank you. It was so lovely to see you again. Yes. Okay, who's next? You're going to say hello at least. Come on then. Who is going to be next? Alex.
Hello. Yes. I just wanted to share that one of the things I've been doing this year, for those who don't know, I had a pulmonary embolism in January, and it changed my outlook on life completely. And I've always been one to sort of say hello and interact with people. And part of me getting well again was actually starting to run. So to begin with, it was walking, and then it became quicker, and now I run. I did a 6K this morning. I normally do between 6K or 10K 2 to 3 times a week. And one of the things I've done, which has made me happy and also allowed me to accept happiness back, is I say good morning to the people I see on my run in the mornings. So the people walking the dogs, the people going to work. And initially it felt a bit uncomfortable, just saying good morning, and I'm sure some of them sort of headed off in the other direction, sort of pointed, there's that strange man that says good morning. But I've noticed more recently, and this has been going on since March, that people actually say good morning to me before I even say good morning to them. So, we've created that community where, this puffing train that comes past called Alex, I talk to people as I go past, and as I've got fitter, I can talk a bit more, rather than just sort of, half a hello, and now it's a good morning. And it does please me, and it makes me happy when people say good morning before I even say good morning to them.
Yeah, thank you, Alex. Yes, I think that's what we call acknowledging, right? So acknowledging and recognizing somebody else is out there, and allowing a bit of connection like that, even if it's just a good morning or a hello with a smile. Or if it's not a smile, it's just acknowledging the other person. I think that's a human need that we are fulfilling, right?
Yeah, I think sometimes my smile is more of a grimace because I'm puffing away, but I try and make it a smile. There's always a twinkle in my eyes.
Yeah, I guess the other people may feel the same way, so they get you. Oh, thank you. Who would like to go next? Hello, Joanna.
Hello.
Hello.
I was just thinking about sharing with you that I also changed a lot this year. And a lot of this change came after a health issue too. And I thought I learned how to love myself when I had eating disorder back when I was 16. But I didn't realize how important it is to remind us every day that we love and acknowledge ourselves and to be kind with ourselves. I was never kind to myself. I was like seeing me in the mirror and seeing the little defects.
Yeah.
And I learned that this year a lot of the self-care that I do now is listening to music. Sometimes I sing. Sometimes I listen to your podcasts and Andrea's work, now Heart Math, Gita. It also helped me a lot in this change. And thank you. And what I also do now, recently, I try to meditate. If I cannot do every day, at least a lot of days a week. And now I practice Reiki on myself. And these little moments, these little end steps that we learn at play are really helping, especially in hard times. And you were talking, Gita, about smiling eyes. And I don't know if you noticed, but my dog came here to say hello to you. I show her in the camera. But when we turn on the videos, all of us were shining lights in our eyes. And when you mentioned it, I was like, yeah, we are doing it. And once I learned that we could smile to strange people in the street, and I think it was this Pope, that told that to spread kindness. I think it was in his TED Talk. He said something about smiling to strangers. And I was walking in the park and in nature. Here in Algarve, we have a lot of beautiful places to go for a walk with our dogs or with our friends. And I started to do that. And in the beginning, it was very uncomfortable because I thought everybody will think I'm crazy. But then when I don't say good morning, I smile. And it happened also. They smile back. And it's like, yeah, it's really a little act of kindness. And I do that all the time with my clients. I always introduce myself and smile first. And it really helps. And people usually give you back when they feel they are being seen. And yeah, so thank you for putting this call together, and thank you for your colors and for your bears. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you, my love. Thank you. And this is also what, you know, if I translate as well in what you give another way of what you just shared, is what we call responsiveness. How we respond to others, and yes, actually we're acknowledging and then we are responding, and again, that's another part of our human need to be and be seen and be felt and be heard. So yes, I am not going. I'm not going to push you if you don't. If that's, you're okay where you are, if you feel happy where you are, and you have already communicated by being here on this call and by your wonderful smiles and holding space. Thank you. I know I'm going to be in touch with you individually, and I look forward to connecting with you individually. And those of you who couldn't make it on the call and who are going to be watching this back again, thank you. And thank you for co-creating this amazing world of kindness in your way of being, in your way of expressing yourself, in your interaction with others, and through your thoughts, because we really need to be mindful of how we actually, you know, what relationship we have with our wonderful minds and our hearts as well, and our spirits, and our doggies too. Or all the wonderful animals and birdies and all the mother earth and nature out there. So thank you once again, and look forward to being with you again soon on another call in real life or in person. Thank you.
Thank you, ChriSOULa.
Thank you, ChriSOULa.